Okay, we are in Voicemeeter. I'm going to show you how you can set up basic MIDI mapping for your MIDI controller or any synthesizer that outputs MIDI. And then I'm going to show you how to do it specifically for the Minilab3, because then you will get a better experience. So what we do to assign physical knobs from a MIDI controller to Voicemeeter is you go to the menu button and then you select MIDI mapping in the menu. Then you get this page and you will see all the features in Voicemeeter that can be assigned to a button. And if you see here, there are 8 pages of features, so you can assign your buttons to pretty much anything. What I'm going to do in this example, I'm going to assign fader number 4 on my Minilab to fader number 4 here in Voicemeeter. So gain fader strip number 4 is this one. I can click learn, and then I just simply move the physical fader on my controller, and then it detects the MIDI commands using to the controller is sending. Then I declick learn and it's set up. So if I now move my physical fader, you see I also move the fader in Voicemeter. But there is a problem with that. If I open my analog labs and move the same fader, you see it is also controlling the master volume for analog labs. So there's a conflict. This button, this fader is already have an assignment. And so do all the other buttons here. If I move this one, I select reverb, and this is movement, and all these have functions already. So what we're going to do about that is use the profiles in the Minilab. You can hold your shift button and you can press the prog, and then you can switch between Arturia and DAW and your user settings if you have them enabled. So I'm going to select my user setting, and we're going to configure that one. So we do that in the MIDI control center that came with your Minilab controller. So here we see a graphical representation of our controller, and all these 8 knobs, these 4 sliders, and these pads, and also these 2 sliders, you can give custom MIDI commands, so we can use them to control Voicemeter in this case. The first we need to do is go to device settings and make sure that we have enabled our user presets. I have enabled user preset number 1, and the other ones are disabled. I go back to my controller, and if you see here, these are the user preset 1 on the actual Minilab, and here are templates that I have stored on my computer. So what we do, we create a new one. We cannot edit the default, and we call it for Voicemeter. And what we can do now, I can go click this fader, and I can select this CC, which I think is control command. And if you open the drop-down list, you see there are 128 different commands that can be sent, and they also have they are populated, most of them. If you see in the range from 102 to 119, they are undefined, and these are usually safe to use. And the same goes for the range here from 52 to 63. So what I'm going to do is simply select some free commands for these 4 and the 4 first pads, and we can afterwards we can use them in Voicemeter. So I go with number 1, and I'll just select number 102. This one will be 103. You get a picture. This one is 104. 4, and this one will be 105. When you are assigning the pads, they are already by default they are playing notes. So what we need to do is change this one to CC. We need to change the MIDI channel to keyboard, and then we can select the command, which will be 106 in this case. And then we do that for the remaining ones. 107. 108. And the last one. 109. Okay, then we just save this profile, and now we save it to our computer. So now I can take this profile and I can upload it to user preset 1 on the Minilab. So I simply click Store to. Okay, let's go back to Voicemeeter. So if I go back to Voicemeeter, I go to the menu and MIDI mapping again. And this time I'll select Learn on the strip 1. I move the first fader. And then I go for fader 2. And you see the numbers are the one we selected. And this is 105. So now I can control fader 1, 2, 3, and 4 with my Minilab. And I also like to have the possibility to mute these for inputs with the pads. So mute strip 1, I'll learn, and I press the first one, second one, third, and fourth. At this point it's probably good to save your MIDI map in case you need to reinstall Voicemeeter, but it's okay for now. So it's not very easy to see, but the little display on the Minilab is now saying Voicemeeter. So now I can move the faders, and I can mute and unmute the strips. And if I show you Analog Labs, nothing is happening in Analog Labs. But if I do want to control the Analog Labs, I press Shift and Prog, and now it says Arturia here, and now I'm controlling Analog Labs. And I can Shift and Prog, now it says DAW, and now it says Voicemeeter, and now I'm back here. Hope this was useful to you. Thank you and goodbye.